Okay, so we were in question number 4 of unit 4, May, June 2025. Okay, so let's get started. Tigers verge of extinction despite a recent increase in number. In 2010, there were 3,200 tigers, and in 2023, there were an estimated 5,574 tigers in the world. The Bengal tiger is the most abundant with approximately 3,100 animals in India and its neighboring countries in 2023. It shows Bengal tiger. So let's move on to the question. Question A. Calculate the percentage increase in the total number of tigers in the world from 2010 to 2023. So to calculate the percentage increase, we need to follow the basic formula. Final minus initial divided by initial into 100. Okay. By following this formula, we can calculate the value. We can calculate the percentage increase. Okay, so we have the values because the initial value was 3,200 and the final was 5,578. Sorry, yeah, the initial value was 3,200 and the final value was 5,574. So we are going to calculate it like that. The calculated value is 74.19. Here we are not given with any instruction whether to write it in 1 or 2 decimal place, so we can just write the percentage what we got. So I will write in 74.19. So let's move on to the next question. Which is the ratio of Bengal tigers to other types of tigers in the world? So we need to calculate the ratio of Bengal tigers to the other types of tiger in the world. And the Bengal tiger is the most abundant with approximately 3,100. So we have the value of total number of Bengal tigers, and that is 3,100. And in the Bengal, the number of Bengal tiger is 3,100, but the total number of tiger is 5,574. So we need to calculate the ratio of the Bengal tigers with the tigers all over the world. Okay. So for that, we can calculate it like 3,100. If I write it, that will be much easier actually. 3,100 ratio with 5,574 minus 3,100, because that's the value of Bengal tiger, right? So by calculating it, we can get the answer following this. Okay. So after calculation, the value is C 1.253 to 1. Okay. So now let's move on to the next question. Question B. The first map shows the distribution of Bengal tiger in India and its neighboring countries. The dark shaded areas are where the tigers are found. So these are the dark shaded areas where the tiger is more abundant or more found. Okay. The second map shows the mountain regions and hill regions in Bhutan. So these are the mountain regions colored. Okay, these are the hill regions and these are the lowlands. Okay. So we got some information from the images over here. Let's move on to the question. In 2018, the Tiger Action Plan for Bhutan was started by the royal government of Bhutan. Conservation groups and the government were hoping to increase the number of tigers in Bhutan. This would establish Bhutan as a tiger corridor to link tigers' population with the neighboring countries. Before the Tiger Action Plan was started, conservation groups had to prove that the tigers were present in Bhutan, especially in the mountain region shown in the map. So, give two reasons why this was important. Before the Tiger Action Plan was started, it was important to prove that the tiger were present in Bhutan, especially in the mountain region, because their presence would indicate that that the habitat was suitable for them to live, to survive and reproduce. Additionally, knowing where the tigers were located would allow these regions to be conserved, and the health and the number of the tigers would be more uh, monitored more efficiently. Now let's move on to the next question. Deduce the importance of establishing a tiger corridor in Bhutan for a greater increase in the number and diversity of tigers. If we uh, if we do that, then the tigers from the different countries will be able to mate with the tigers from the Bhutan, which will ultimately increase the gene pool, and it will kind of stop interbreeding, and more healthy tigers will be born with more good alleles in them, with which a much better gene pool. Okay, so now let's move on to the answer. Establishing a tiger corridor in Bhutan would allow tigers from different countries to mix and mate, increasing the gene pool and genetic diversity of the tiger population while preventing interbreeding. This would lead to a healthier population with fewer illnesses, and in addition, the corridor would provide more areas for tigers to live, helping to prevent extinction and avoid further declines in their numbers. So, this is the end of the question 4. See you in the next question. Bye bye.